In a time and place when you can podcast from anywhere,
two ladies in their mid to late 27s have decided to.
And they're calling it Workationing.
But the ladies have questions.
What's poppin', Houston?
Why does Kari want to go to Branson?
How were the ladies wronged by sinkholes and Brexit?
This is the Workationing Podcast. Hey guys, it's your girls.
Hello, Kari and Kelly here, checking in for duty.
We are. This is a slightly different kind of episode.
It is. It's not normal. We like weird.
And we're experiencing some weird over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I would say so. Mainly, who are you people?
Yeah, so
if you're listening right now, who are you?
Yeah, questions.
I see a lady, a gringa, top knot, yoga pants in the back, hands raised.
That's
you,
me.
Ma'am.
That's me. Who are all these people listening to this podcast?
I don't know.
We're very glad you are. We are just thrilled about it, but we have been checking our podcast analytics over the last few weeks, and we don't know who you are. This is starting to feel a little one-sided.
It looks like we have thousands of listeners.
Yes.
Not just thousands of downloads, but thousands of listeners.
Yes. Much to our surprise.
Hey.
And delight.
All right. Okay. So podcast analytics, notoriously challenging.
They really are, and we're marketing gals, and so we live for an analytic.
Oh, God, I love a good chart.
Oh, we just love to get in Google Analytics and just click around for days. Knowledge, the data, give it to me.
Hey, where's the traffic coming from? Is it referral traffic? Is it organic traffic? What landing pages are they going to? We can tell all of this with regular old Google Analytics. Podcast analytics, we can't really tell. We don't know how many subscribers we have.
Yeah, that's a thing you apparently just can't know.
No, big mystery on that front. But we can tell how many people are downloading the podcast via Libsyn, Libsyn. Seems to be the industry standard for this.
Which is kind of shocking because, listen, sorry, Libsyn, but I've seen better when it comes to analytics.
I have not seen anything better in the podcast
world.
world.
Unfortunately, no.
If you podcast and have a suggestion for more detailed analytics
yes,
that we
hit
can...
your girls up.
Please.
Hit a gringa with an email.
Yes. You can go to facebook.com/workationing and just let us know where we should be sourcing our analytics, because unless... I am just not reading this right, I don't think I can tell where people come from. I can see what technology they're using.
Right.
So I can see how many are on Apple. I can see how many Android downloads we have. We're not really popping off on SoundCloud, which doesn't make any sense to me.
No, we have just no listens on SoundCloud.
Colombia. So the number one country for our listens is the U.S., second to Colombia, with several hundred downloads in Colombia.
Yeah, pushing 1,000.
Hey guys. Australia. Kelly, do you know anyone in Australia?
I do not.
I don't think I do.
I don't think I do.
Do I know you in Australia? Because we have several hundred listens there too. United Kingdom. I think I know one person there. How about you?
0 as of this moment.
Okay. Well, United Kingdom, check in with your girls. Who are you people?
Yeah, we really, really want to know who you are. We want to know, how do you feel about the podcast so far? Are you travelers? Are you thinking about traveling?
Do you have remote jobs? Are you looking for remote jobs?
Do you like this? Are we doing a good job? Do you want more? What do you...
I don't know. Netherlands? We have almost 500 downloads in the Netherlands.
That's crazy to me. We love the Netherlands.
I do. I love a good Amsterdam.
I don't know anyone there. Not who's there full time.
I'm sure I met some people, but I didn't tell them about Workationing, so I can't imagine that any of them know that. Canada, America's hat. Hey, how you doing? Tip of the hat to those of you living and listening in America's hat.
Hello.
Canada, beautiful country. New Zealand, China, Portugal, Switzerland. The list goes on.
Yes. And what I find actually really interesting, too, is where the listens are in the United States. Missouri. How you doing?
I have always wanted to go to Branson. Kelly and I have an ongoing joke that's like, where are we going to go next? And I always say, I've always wanted to check out Branson.
And you know what? We're not all the way kidding.
No.
And I think we're going to end up there at some point. So get ready, Branson, Missouri.
My grandparents had a killer vacation in Branson, Missouri in the 80s. And then that was back when they had those slideshows where people would sit you in the living room and then show you slideshow photos of their vacation. Do you remember those days?
Everyone loves to see your slideshow of your vacation.
I loved it.
It's great. Please tell me in detail.
Right?
God damn it.
Elementary school me was very excited to sit down, have some quiet time, and look at photos of Branson, Missouri.
I bet you were.
But my grandma still talks about Branson.
Right, and I think we want to hit it up at some point.
That lady had the time of her life in Branson, Missouri, and I think I might have a time there too.
Yes, and we have quite a few listeners out there.
We do. Kansas City.
It's a big one.
Kansas City.
Chicago. Shout out Chicago.
DC representing.
DC represents hard. Hello, DC.
I almost wonder, so we got interviewed on the Reason podcast. Nick Gillespie interviewed us for Reason. There was a website article about it as well. I think that some of our listeners definitely came over from Reason.
That seems to be the case, but we would love to hear more from you guys. Seriously, hit us up. A few people have, actually a pretty good number of people have. We've been getting Facebook messages.
Actually, we got a Facebook message from a lady who went and played Tejo with Chris at Tejo Medellin tour.
Which is crazy.
She heard it.
That's so amazing.
No, and then Chris told us, and Chris was like, some couple came in and they played Tejo, and they said that they heard about it from Workationing. Because we just saw Chris. You know, she's there on Thursday.
That's so crazy.
Hey, Chris. And then the next day, the lady emailed us.
Right.
And she
seems very cool and like a really cool traveler. So it was really cool to hear from her.
Mm-hmm.
So
we've also gotten blog comments.
Yeah. Sliding into my DMs.
On Twitter?
On Insta even?
Yes, Instagram comments. So people have been reaching out to us.
And we like it.
We're tickled by it. We want to hear your stories. Where's cool to go?
Right. Do you have a podcast? Are you traveling? Are you thinking about traveling?
Really, what I want to hear is where they found us from. Because Reason, that I'm sure that probably sent some people our way. I got quoted in USA Today and that got syndicated. Forbes called us smart travelers in that infographic. But I can't imagine that people just read our names at the bottom of that infographic, then clicked on over to workationing.com. That's workationing.com. And popped us a blog comment.
Right.
Maybe?
No, it's just interesting. This has been... I think the podcast for us has really been a kind of a way to scrapbook our adventures.
And also kind of like a project of empowerment. So when I came into, I guess, the workationing lifestyle or the digital nomad lifestyle, I kind of stumbled onto it as a freelance writer. I did a brief stint at a startup for a while and then started the Content Factory, my digital PR agency. And now everyone works from home. But like, I didn't have a model on how to get a work from home job and really what that could enable me to do.
Right.
And as I told some of my friends about how you and I were going on workationing, they were very interested in, well, what is it that you're doing exactly? And how did you get there?
Right.
And so maybe we should have some content about how to get here if people they're not already untethered.
Right.
And we've written some guides over at, again, workationing.com, where you can check out like the guide to untethering your life, which walk through the step-by-step Craigslist process that I use to find more freelance work.
Not patented. You can use it.
Not patented. No, I break it down for you. But the steps that I used to source more work than I can handle on Craigslist as a freelance writer. If you're a graphic designer, I would imagine that process also works. Website designer, same kind of deal. Social media manager, even digital PR. In the world of digital marketing, which is obviously what we're most familiar with, there are a lot of jobs out there that you can really work from home or anywhere.
Right.
With. And I'm happy to talk about that if that's what y'all are interested in. Certainly that's my area of expertise. I've been doing this for a while.
Right.
If you guys are interested in that, we can talk about that. We can continue to talk about our adventures. Really what we're looking for right now is feedback from the audience, because we don't know who you people are or what you like. We'd like to give you more of it.
Right. More of what you like, less of what you don't.
Right. So tell us over at facebook.com/workationing. Shoot us a message. We'll hit you back probably within an hour.
Because we're attached to our computers. We're always working.
Real quick with a response on that. And we'll email you back. So New York, there are almost 1,500 people almost 1,500 downloads, in New York alone. I don't know how many people that works out to exactly, but if you're listening and you're from New York, give us a shout. Houston? Over 1,000 in Houston?
I don't know anyone in Houston.
Los Angeles, I would expect there to be more in Los Angeles. We actually have more in Houston than we do in Los Angeles. I don't know. I'm very confused by Missouri. Maybe they know that I have a deep love for Branson and they just came out.
I think they can sense it.
I think so.
You know, it's like a beacon.
Right.
It burns with a fiery heat.
Maybe. I don't know. So what we're asking for, again, feedback. Who are you people? Are you already living your life as digital nomads? Are you just interested in this life? Are you not really interested, but you just want to hear about two gringas going on adventures? Because we have that. We can also talk about how we work from the road, which I think we haven't really gotten into that much, but it's certainly the majority of the time that we spend out here.
Absolutely.
On workationing is spent actually working.
Heavy on the work.
Out here, and we make it happen, and we've come up with all kinds of technical hacks to get around various difficulties that we have encountered while workationing out here on the road. I've got a sick hack for how to make ice without ice cube trays.
It is sick. It's great. You're gonna love it.
It makes the best ice. I don't mean to brag, but
it really does. It's like a really idealized situation.
I was proud of myself for that. We've been using it a lot out here in Medellin.
We sure have.
The Ziploc ice baggie method. Check it out on workationing.com. I think I've plugged it enough. Do people know where to find us? Because they're not finding us on Facebook. We've got 700 almost Facebook likes right now.
Right.
It's a new page. Haven't really been putting advertising behind it.
Yeah. Get over here. Say hi. That's where we are mostly on Facebook. That's where we post most of the content that has to go with the podcast. So if you're wanting to see that stuff, that's where you're going to want to go look for that.
Workationing also has an Instagram. It reposts everything that Kelly and I Instagram. So you can pop on over there and then maneuver on over to our individual Instagram profiles and pop us a comment there.
We'd love to connect with you guys. So absolutely reach out. LinkedIn, Facebook,
People
Twitter.
send me messages on LinkedIn too.
I love a good LinkedIn connect.
We have an investment banker listener in New York.
Just be sure if you reach out to us on LinkedIn that you say in the message how you know us, because I tend to not accept people on LinkedIn because I don't want to you want to use those connections, so you don't want to muddy it up. But if you say you're a podcast listener, I'll accept you.
Okay. All right. Real selective over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would really appreciate it if you like this podcast. If you think that we could improve some things. I'm open to that feedback. Are you open to that feedback?
I'm very open to it. Maybe say it nicely.
Please, if you can.
We're nice gringas.
We are.
Don't try to be mean.
I'm feeling very emotionally vulnerable, having spent so much time in Medellin.
Right, and doing this, I think, more publicly than we thought it would be at this point. Listen, we're not going to jinx it. We're in PR, so we're very superstitious about this sort of thing. But we did have a reporter from a very prominent ladies magazine.
I was very familiar with this brand name. I have purchased several copies of this publication. So, I might have even subscribed at one point.
Yes. And so there's been an interview there. There's from someone who had heard about the podcast. Right. So that might be coming. We've been burned by this before, so we're afraid to say for sure it's going to happen.
I have done a few national TV interviews in my day as a PR lady, and I was once sitting in the chair, had gone through makeup, and it's this very intense experience when you go on TV, especially from a remote location, which is usually where I've done this
live
at.
TV.
Oh, live, yes. Just a little live national TV, Gringa.
No big deal.
You got this. You know? Yeah, so trying not to profusely sweat in this chair as the lights, because the lights you have to sit in this chair for a very long time while they're just waiting to cue you.
You try to will your makeup to not melt off your face.
You're just trying to look fresh.
So fresh. Up since 3 a.m.
and they're just
feeling fresh.
Not at all shiny with my 3x5 cards of facts to remember.
Right.
You know? So it's basically like a 3-hour long situation, including, getting to the studio and whatnot. And so I was sitting in the chair. I was about ready to go on. I was 2 minutes away from my hit time. And a hit time is when you go on air. And there was a sinkhole.
Oh.
And I got preempted. So they bumped me. They bumped my interview, killed that half day, and that sinkhole.
Damn you, sinkhole.
I know. So been battling that
real a-hole, if you know what I'm saying.
sinkhole ever since, right? I had a client sitting in a chair one time.
Oh, that's almost worse.
Same thing happened because you have no control over it,
right?
You know,
and you've gotten them that far,
right? And then Brexit comes through, and they don't have anything. They don't care what you have to say, right?
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, no chance of us getting bumped right now. It's not like there's anything interesting really going on in the world news.
Is it
quiet these days?
Is it better to be bumped for Brexit or a sinkhole?
I don't want to place a value on it. But I think you really got boned by that sinkhole.
I did.
Because who remembers that sinkhole?
I do. Nope.
Well, you and literally no one else.
Right, the people whose backyard it was in.
Yeah. Lonely people.
I was watching helicopter.
Hashtag never forget.
Seriously, I was watching live helicopter coverage of this sinkhole and just like, this is what my life
Just like
is.
steaming. Like, well, let me go wipe this pound of makeup off.
I know, because it's very heavy.
See you guys later.
Thanks for the invite.
Right.
Maybe we'll reschedule. Okay, so that's my preemption story and why we're not going to talk about the hopefully upcoming placement that we've got. But maybe you guys have seen us around. Maybe somebody referred you to us. That's cool too. Just let us know.
We love to hear from you. We really, really would. So hit your girls up. This has been another episode of the Workationing Podcast. If you like what you heard here, make sure to like, rate, subscribe, and leave us a review on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, or wherever else on the internet you're hearing this.
You can also go to workationing.com. That's workationing.com.